This is how I walked out of hospital after being paralyzed. This is a very personal story that I've never shared online before. A lot of my family members don't even know the story of how I walked out of hospital. The mental gymnastics I had to do in order to overcome this massive hurdle, this massive hill I had to climb. And I put it largely to mental strength. There were many things that contributed to me being able to walk out of hospital after being completely paralyzed, full quadriplegia. If you guys haven't heard the term quadriplegia, it's the condition of all four limbs being immobile, paralyzed. You probably heard quadriplegic more often. Quadriplegia or quadriplegic. Notice the word quad, four, all four limbs being paralyzed. That is what quadriplegia is, or quadriplegic. But mine wasn't caused by a lot of people spinal injuries. Mine wasn't caused by spinal injury. Mine was from a stroke which they had to remove part of my brain, and the part of the brain they removed just happened to be the part that controls movement. So I was left paralyzed, completely paralyzed, for months until I reversed it. And how did someone left in such a bad condition reverse it? I put it down to mental gymnastics. The things I had to do mentally to be able to overcome this hurdle. And the largest component I would put to it, it was giving myself no option but to walk out. So how does one give yourself no option? I brainwashed myself. For 3 months at the second hospital, every single night. Because my arms didn't work. It's not like I could play with my phone or watch TV. I had no TV. So for every single night, I would tell myself, walk out of the next hospital or die in there. So the two options was to walk out or to be carried out in a box. Those were my two options. And I told myself every single night until it was so ingrained in my brain that that's what I believed, I had to walk out or I was going to die in there. I call this burning your bridges. Other people call it no plan B. It's basically the same thing, the same concept. And I call it burn your bridges is because the other option is a dead end. You've already burned that option. And the other option is to die in there. And I'm not going to give up for anything. So I'm not going to die in there. So the only way is to walk out. And by doing that early, by totally brainwashing myself, I was completely able to fight through all the pain, all the hardship I faced in the third hospital. And it was hard. It was really, really hard. Every single night I had to take strong painkillers. It was because I felt like someone just squirted petrol on my legs and set it on light. Every single night was like that because of the exercises I had to do in the morning. And I did 4 hours a day. This is a public hospital. No one gets 4 hours a day. Why did I get 4 hours a day? I got 4 hours a day because most people in there, they refuse service. They say, oh, I'm in pain. I can't do it. This and that. They made excuses for themselves. Because they made excuses for themselves and they wouldn't come to do physio, the hospital gave it to the guy who wanted to do it, who wanted to do the work. I went in there and I asked for as much physio as they could give me, and they gave me 4 hours. And I was in a really terrible state. It's not like one physio can look after three people. Mine was one on one. There had to be one guy next to me, the one physio next to me, otherwise I could fall over at any one time. So it was full on and it was hard. It was really hard. So I was at the third hospital for 5.5 months. And every single day, there was not one single day in the gym, in the physio gym, I didn't hear this, a physio went up to the ward to get a patient, or a student went up to get a patient, and they come back and they say they refused. They refused to get treatment today. I'm in pain, whatever. Too many people made excuses why they can't exercise that day. So I was in there for 5.5 months, 4 sessions a day. And you know how many services I refused? I refused once. And that because I was totally knocked out. I, I went to the morning session, the OT session. I could not even lift past the shelves. I was so fucked up. And I think it was from the the nurses giving me the wrong medication. I still think they gave me some sleeping medication instead of my normal medication. So I was knocked out, and the physio came to get me after lunch, and I was in bed because I was so tired after lunch. I could not even open my eyes. He came to the door. He saw me in bed, really, really tired. He said, "I'll come back in 2 hours." He came back and I was still knocked out. He said, "I think we have to cancel today." So yeah, I agree. That's the only time I ever refused treatment for that hospital. In that hospital, I broke my foot. I broke my ankle. And the doctor told me I could take 6 weeks off, but it will put my progress back by 6 months. I refused to take any time off. I continued my 4 hours a day, even with a broken ankle. How did I push through that? I gave myself no choice. I told myself months before, I brainwashed myself, I was going to walk out or I was going to die in there. So even through all that pain, even through a broken ankle, I did not have one single day off. I refused to take a single day off. I just continued with my treatment, and my right knee is busted up to this day because of that. Because my left ankle was broken. I put all the weight on the right foot, right leg, and to this day, when I move my knee, it clicks. I still don't know what it is, but it's fucked up. So this is what you need to do. I know it's too late for some of you to apply this tactic. I'm hoping for new people in situations like this. You can do this to increase your chances of pushing through all the pain. Of this is really hard to do. A few years ago, I was watching a documentary with one of my carers, and there was a guy who had a heart attack, and he recovered, and then he went and climbed Mount Everest. And she asked me, when I recover, do I want to go climb Mount Everest? I said, no. I said, because I've already climbed it. I've already climbed Mount Everest twice. What I had to do in hospital, how deep I had to dig to walk out of there after being completely paralyzed. In the 6 years I've been doing this, I have never seen another case of someone arriving in such a poor condition, full quadriplegia, and then walking out of hospital. And I contribute that to my age, actually. So you would normally think someone older would have a worse chance of getting a good outcome. You know, someone who's young, in the teens, 20s, might have a better chance. But no, in my case, it was because of my age, because of my life experiences that I started off with. I had a much bigger tool chest to work with than someone who's in their teens or 20s. So my life experiences, my knowledge, my beliefs, my mental strength allow me to have a very good outcome. Now, I recorded this long ass video for the Angry Quad, YouTube channel, the Angry Quad. You're a funny dude. Anyway, keep on fighting, brother. Let's get ourselves out of this fucking mess we're in.
Subscribe now, you motherfucker.